if you've tried everything to relax, if you've changed pillows, breathing techniques, routines, supplements, and yet your body still won't calm down at night, there's something important I want you to hear right away. Nothing is wrong with you. This experience is not a failure. It's not a sign that your body has forgotten how to sleep. And it's not proof that you're doing something incorrectly. What's happening is actually very normal. Your nervous system is doing exactly what it was designed to do. Its job is to protect you, to stay alert, to scan for danger, to keep you alive. The problem isn't that your nervous system is broken. The problem is simply that it hasn't received the message yet. That right now, in this moment, there is no danger. So instead of shifting into rest, it stays in protection mode. You might notice this as a body that feels tense even when you're exhausted, a mind that stays alert the moment you lie down, a sense of bracing, scanning, waiting for something to happen. Before we go ahead, if you feel these videos might help someone you care about, you're welcome to like, share, subscribe, or write a kind thought in the comments. It helps this space reach other sleepy souls who may be quietly looking for the same comfort. Let's do an act of kindness before we drift into sleep. Not because something is happening, but because your system is still on watch. This is why so many people say, "I'm tired, but I can't rest." And it's also why techniques that are meant to calm you, like deep breathing or meditation, sometimes feel frustrating or ineffective at night. Not because those tools are wrong, but because you can't convince a body to relax while it still believes it's in danger. A nervous system in protection mode doesn't respond to commands, it doesn't respond to force, and it doesn't respond to pressure. Trying harder actually sends the opposite message. Something must be wrong. Stay alert. So if you've ever found yourself lying in bed thinking, "Why isn't this working?" Or, "I should be calmer by now," or, "I've done everything. What else am I missing?" That inner struggle alone is enough to keep the system awake. And this is where we begin differently. This video is not about forcing relaxation. It's not about making sleep happen. And it's not about fixing your body. Instead, it's about helping your nervous system feel safe enough to let go on its own. Because when safety returns, relaxation is not something you do. It's something that happens. And we'll take this gently, step by step, without effort, without timelines, and without asking your body to do anything it isn't ready to do yet. For now, just let this idea settle. Your body isn't resisting you. It's protecting you. And one's protection no longer feels necessary. Rest begins naturally. One of the most important things to understand about sleep is this: relaxation is not something you do. It's something that happens when the body no longer feels the need to stay alert. Most of us discover this the hard way. You're lying in bed. The room is quiet. The lights are off. And it's 2 a.m. You might find yourself saying to yourself, "Just relax. Just go to sleep. Come on, you're tired." But the moment you start doing that, something interesting happens. Your body doesn't soften. Your mind doesn't slow down. In fact, you often feel more awake. That's because sleep doesn't respond to effort. It never has. You can't push yourself into sleep any more then you can push yourself into unconsciousness. The harder you try, the more alert the system becomes. Sleep only arrives when effort fades, when the body lets go on its own. Relaxation works in exactly the same way. The moment you start trying to relax, checking whether it's working, measuring how calm you feel, or wondering why your body isn't responding yet, you've added pressure. And pressure is the language of danger to the nervous system. Pressure says, something isn't right. Stay alert. So the nervous system does what it's supposed to do. It stays on guard. It stays watchful. It stays ready. I remember a time when I would lie in bed absolutely exhausted. The kind of tired that settles into your bones. Yet the moment my head touched the pillow, my body would tense, and I wasn't anxious about anything specific. Nothing was wrong in the room, but I was waiting for sleep to happen. Every few minutes I'd notice my breath, then my heartbeat, then I'd check the clock. And without realizing it, I'd turn sleep into a performance. My body wasn't resisting rest. It was responding to pressure. The night I stopped trying to make sleep happen, stopped adjusting my breathing, stopped checking how relaxed I felt, stopped asking, why am I still awake? Something changed. Not instantly, not dramatically, but my body softened in a way I hadn't felt in weeks. That's when I understood. My nervous system didn't need guidance, it needed permission. Your nervous system already knows how to relax. It doesn't need instructions. It doesn't need to be controlled. And it doesn't need to be monitored. When we try to micromanage the body, adjusting the breath, scanning for tension, correcting every sensation, we accidentally keep the system awake. This doesn't mean you have to give up tools like breathing exercises, meditation apps, or a calming bedtime routine. Those can still be supportive, but they work best when there are invitations, not commands. They help create a gentle environment for rest. They don't force the body to switch off. The moment relaxation becomes a task, something you feel you must accomplish, the nervous system reads that as another responsibility, another demand, another reason to stay alert. So tonight, instead of asking your body to relax, we're going to stop asking altogether. We're going to let the body decide. We're going to remove the effort, and we're going to allow rest to return in its own time. Because when there's nothing to achieve, nothing to fix, and nothing to get right, the body finally receives the message that it's safe to let go. Sometimes even after you stop trying to relax, the body still doesn't soften right away. And this is where many people start to worry. They think, I'm doing everything right, so why isn't it changing? Or why does my body feel so stubborn? But this stubbornness isn't resistance, it's protection. When the nervous system has been under stress for a while, it becomes cautious. It doesn't let go easily, not because it's broken, but because it's been trying to keep you safe. From the body's point of view, staying alert has been useful, so it holds on a little longer. Not to punish you, not to frustrate you, but to make sure nothing is missed. This is why forcing calm never works here. You can't convince a protective system to stand down by arguing with it. It relaxes only when it feels safe enough to do so. I remember noticing this in a very ordinary moment of my own life. There was a period when I was sleeping poorly, and one evening I was sitting on the couch late at night, watching the house grow quiet. The lights were low. Nothing needed my attention. I felt physically tired. Yet the moment I went to bed, my body became alert again. Out of curiosity, I stayed where I was, not trying to sleep, not analyzing anything, just sitting there, letting the tiredness exist. After a while, my body softened on its own. My breathing changed. My shoulders dropped. It wasn't the bed that kept me awake. It was the expectation that sleep should happen there. My nervous system wasn't broken. It had simply learned to associate the bed with effort. That's what stress does. It teaches the body to stay ready, even in safe places. And once you understand this, you stop taking the stubbornness personally. You stop asking, "What's wrong with me?" And instead you recognize, my system is just being careful. A stressed nervous system doesn't respond to logic. It responds to consistency, to nights where nothing bad happens even when you're awake, to moments where you don't react, don't rush, don't correct. Over time, that quiet non-reaction becomes evidence. Evidence that alertness is no longer needed. Evidence that it's okay to let go. And when the body finally relaxes, it won't be because you forced it. It will be because it decided on its own that it was safe enough to rest. When you look at all of this through a survival lens, your experience begins to make sense. If a body has been under stress, even subtle ongoing stress, it can't afford to drop its guard right away. From the nervous system's point of view, relaxing too soon would be risky, so it stays vigilant. A little watchful, a little ready, not because something is wrong, but because it has learned that staying alert was once necessary. And the important thing to understand is this: stress doesn't have to come from something big or dramatic. It doesn't have to be a trauma, an emergency, or a crisis. And sometimes the stress comes from long periods of poor sleep, months of worrying about sleep, repeatedly checking how you feel, trying night after night to fix the problem. Even the quiet pressure of wanting to sleep can become its own form of stress. So when your body doesn't relax, it's not failing. It's responding exactly as it should to the information it has received. This is where many people get stuck, because they believe the solution is to relax more. But relaxation is not the requirement. Response is. You don't need to calm the body. You don't need to settle the sensations. And you don't need to make sleep happen. What matters most is how you respond when the body stays alert. Do you tense against it? Do you argue with it? Do you watch it closely, hoping it will change? Or can you meet it differently, with a softer response, with less urgency, with an attitude of, this can be here? This is the shift that changes everything. When you stop trying to relax and instead allow the body to be as it is, you send a powerful message of safety, not through words, not through logic, but through non-reaction. And over time, that response teaches the nervous system that vigilance is no longer required, that nothing bad happens when you stop trying, that it's safe to stand down. This is where real rest begins, not by doing more, but by responding differently. This is where things begin to change. Not because your body suddenly relaxes, and not because sleep arrives right away, but because your relationship with wakefulness softens. You don't actually need to relax in order to heal, and you don't need to sleep perfectly for your nervous system to recover. What matters most is how you respond in the moments when your body doesn't relax. For many people, those moments are filled with tension. They start watching the clock. They replay the day ahead. They wonder how much sleep they've lost. They worry about what tomorrow will feel like. And without realizing it, their attention turns inward, checking, correcting, adjusting. That inner monitoring feels responsible. But to the nervous system, it feels like pressure. It says, something isn't okay yet. So instead of settling, the body stays alert. This is why the goal is no longer relaxation. The goal is a different response, a quieter one. When you notice that your body isn't relaxing, see if you can meet that moment with this attitude. Whether I sleep or not tonight, that's okay. Whether my body relaxes right now or not, that's okay. My body knows how to take care of itself. This isn't resignation. And it's not giving up. It's allowing. When you stop trying to calm the body, you stop sending the message that something needs fixing. And when the nervous system no longer feels monitored, it begins to soften on its own. You may still feel sensations. You may still feel alert at times. But instead of tightening against them, you let them be there. You float with them. You don't push them away, and you don't pull them closer. You allow wakefulness to pass through without turning it into a problem. And over time, the body learns something important. Nothing bad happens when you stop trying. Nothing needs to be controlled. Nothing needs to be forced. Healing doesn't depend on how relaxed you feel in any one moment. It depends on how gently you respond over time. And that gentle response, again and again, is what teaches the nervous system that it's safe to rest. Safe. Not as a technique to fix the night, but as a way to stop adding fuel to the alertness. A is for acknowledge. Gently notice what's happening. You might say to yourself, I'm awake. My body feels tense. I'm noticing sensations. No judgment, no analysis, just recognition. L is for label. Give it a neutral name. This is my nervous system on high alert. This is anxiety energy. Labeling helps you stop personalizing the experience. It reminds you that this is a state, not a problem. A is for accept. This is the heart of the practice. You allow the sensations to be there. You stop asking them to leave. You might gently think, okay, body, you're allowed to feel this way right now. There's nothing I need to change. Acceptance is not approval. It's simply non-resistance. R is for refocus. At night, refocusing doesn't mean distraction. It means coming back to being here, feeling the bed beneath you, the weight of the blanket, the quiet of the room, not watching for sleep, not waiting for change, just resting where you are. M is for move on. This doesn't mean getting up or doing something else. It means you stop revisiting the problem, you stop rechecking, you stop asking, is it working yet? You allow the night to unfold without commentary. And this is where floating naturally happens. You're no longer pushing sensations away. You're no longer pulling yourself towards sleep. You're floating in between, letting the body do what it needs to do at its own pace. And over time, this way of responding becomes familiar. The nervous system learns that wakefulness isn't dangerous. Sensations don't require action. And nothing bad happens when you let go of control. That learning, not perfect relaxation, is what allows rest to return. One of the quiet ways pressure sneaks back in is through time. How long will this take? When will I finally sleep normally again? Why hasn't it changed yet? These questions feel reasonable, but to the nervous system, they sound like urgency, and urgency keeps the system alert. Healing doesn't respond to deadlines. If you injured your body, you wouldn't stand over it every day asking it to hurry. You would give it what it needs and allow time to do its work. Your nervous system is no different. It relaxes when it has enough evidence that there's no danger and no demand. Not when it's convinced, not when it's pressured, but when it feels safe. Your body actually prefers rest. It wants to conserve energy. Staying alert, tense, and watchful burns resources. So when the system no longer senses threat, it naturally begins to return to baseline. The return doesn't happen all at once. Some nights feel easier, some nights feel familiar again, some nights feel like nothing has changed, and all of that can be part of healing. You may not feel relaxed and still be healing. You may be awake at night and still be teaching your nervous system safety. Relaxation is not the starting point. It's the result. Your nervous system is dynamic. It rises and falls. It responds moment by moment to how you meet it. If it notices that you're no longer reacting, no longer rushing, no longer measuring, no longer adding pressure, it begins to settle on its own, not because you told it to, but because there's no reason to stay alert anymore. So instead of watching the clock or waiting for a breakthrough night, let's see if you can let go of when. Let the body choose its timing. Each night you respond gently. Each moment you don't interfere. You're giving the nervous system exactly what it needs. And in that space, without timelines, without demands, rest returns naturally. By now, you've learned something very important. Sleep and relaxation are not things to chase. They are things that arrive when the body feels safe enough to let go. You've also learned that your nervous system is not broken, it's not lazy, it's not resisting you, it's protecting you. Some nights it will be more stubborn, some nights it will soften easily. And all of that is okay. What matters most is how you respond. When you stop forcing relaxation, when you stop measuring sleep, when you stop adding pressure or timelines, your nervous system begins to trust again. It begins to realize there is no danger here. I am safe. I can stand down. And when the system trusts, rest comes naturally. Not as a goal, not as something to achieve, but as something that unfolds on its own. Some nights you'll notice sleep arriving quickly. Some nights you'll be awake and still healing. Some nights will feel easier. and some nights will feel stubborn. All of that is part of the process. All of that is part of your nervous system learning safety again. So tonight, let the body decide. Let the mind step back. Float through wakefulness when it arises. Allow sensations to be present without pushing them away or clinging to them. Because you don't need to fix anything. You don't need to control anything. You just need to respond gently. And over time, this gentle, unpressured response becomes your new rhythm. Your nights become less about struggle and more about trust. Trust that your body knows how to rest. Trust that your nervous system can soften. Trust that healing happens quietly, even while awake. Tonight, the goal is not to sleep. The goal is simply to allow, to float, to meet your body with acceptance. And when you do that, rest, true, deep, nourishing rest, returns on its own. Now that we've gone through the techniques to help your body soften and respond gently, we'll move into a calm, unhurried story. This story is designed not to keep your mind busy, but to allow it to drift softly and effortlessly. You'll imagine a peaceful, natural scene, perhaps a quiet forest, a gentle river, or a starlit sky, where everything moves slowly and calmly. As you picture this place, notice how your body begins to relax along with it, how your breath might slow, and how a sense of ease washes over you. Let the story guide your mind and body into a deep, natural, and effortless sleep. Now that we've gone through the techniques to help your body soften and respond gently, we'll move into a calm, unhurried story. This story is designed not to keep your mind busy, but to allow it to drift softly and effortlessly. You'll imagine a peaceful natural scene, perhaps a quiet forest, a gentle river, or a starlit sky, where everything moves slowly and calmly. As you picture this place, notice how your body begins to relax along with it, how your breath might slow, and how a sense of ease washes over you. Let the story guide your mind and body into a deep, natural, and effortless sleep. The evening comes slowly. The sky above the forest is soft, muted blue, fading into the gentle glow of the horizon. The air carries the calm scent of earth and pine, a quiet reminder of all that has grown and settled here over many years. Before we move deeper into the story, if you feel these videos might help someone you care about, you're welcome to like, share, subscribe, or leave a kind thought in the comments. It helps this space reach other sleepy souls who may be quietly looking for the same comfort. You walk along a narrow forest path, soft earth under your feet, cushioned by fallen leaves and tiny pine needles. The path winds slowly toward the shore, lined with low, sturdy trees. Their trunks are dark and familiar, not looming or sharp. Somewhere nearby, a gentle rustle of small creatures moving through the underbrush reaches your ears. Perhaps a rabbit shifts through the leaves, or a squirrel moves across a low branch. The sounds come and go, unnoticed by the forest itself, and so they are gentle and harmless to you as well. At the edge of a small clearing, you notice a cozy hut tucked among the trees. It is simple, inviting, and quiet. Smoke rises in a thin curl from the chimney, catching the last traces of sunset light. Windows glow softly, warm and contained, not demanding attention. You step closer. The door is slightly ajar, welcoming without pressure. A small lantern hangs beside it. Its glow stretches softly across the path, casting gentle shadows. You pause here. You do not need to knock. You do not need to enter. The forest, the hut, and the shoreline beyond are all here, steady and patient. As you move on to the small clearing in front of the hut, a soft breeze brushes your face, carrying the distant sound of gentle waves against the shore. Your body notices this, a relaxation in your shoulders, a calm in your breathing. Without needing to control it, you are learning from the surrounding. Any thoughts that appear, questions, plans, or worries, float briefly, then fade. Like leaves drifting down a stream, they are present, yet they do not demand attention. Nearby, small animals play quietly. A fox watches from a distance. A rabbit pauses and stretches. A bird flutters to a low branch. They are gentle, careful, unhurried. The forest allows them to exist exactly as they are, and the hut allows them to rest nearby without interference. You allow yourself the same. The lantern sways slightly in the evening breeze. The leaves rustle softly, and the water beyond whispers at the shore. Everything moves without demand. Everything holds itself. And so do you. The hut, the forest, the shoreline, and you. All part of this calm, unhurried world. For now, nothing needs to change. Nothing requires effort. The path ahead is quiet. The water is steady. The forest is patient. The path curves gently away from the hut, not leading anywhere urgent. It narrows slightly, cushioned by moss and fallen needles that soften each step without asking for care. The forest deepens here, not darker, just quieter. Tree trunks stand at comfortable distances from one another, leaving open space between them. Branches sway lightly overhead, brushing against one another with a soft, wooden sound that comes and goes on its own. You walk without counting steps. The ground supports you evenly. Nothing shifts beneath your feet. A small animal moves nearby. A quick rustle, a pause, then stillness again. Whatever it was has already settled back into its place. The forest does not follow it with attention. Neither do you. A cluster of smooth stones lines the edge of the path. Lichen grows across them in pale, uneven patterns. No two stones are the same, and none seem concerned about it. A fallen log rests just off the trail, half sunken into the earth. It no longer tries to be anything other than what it is now, a place for moss, a resting spot for beetles, a quiet boundary between forest floor and air. You pass it without thinking to stop. The forest continues without needing your involvement. A breeze moves through the trees, not strong enough to bend them, only enough to remind them they are not fixed. Leaves turn slightly, needles whisper, then the air stills again. Your body mirrors this naturally. A small sensation may rise: warmth, heaviness, a gentle awareness of breath. It shifts on its own, settling without instruction, the same way the leaves settle once the wind has passed. No adjustment is required. The sound of water grows clearer as the trees thin, not louder, just closer. The forest opens gradually, revealing a quiet stretch of shoreline where sand meets small stones. The water moves in slow, repeating motions, brushing the shore and drawing back again. Each wave reaches its edge, pauses, and returns without hesitation. It doesn't correct itself. It doesn't question the motion. It simply follows what carries it. A piece of driftwood rests near the waterline, smoothed pale by years of contact. When the tide reaches it, the wood lifts slightly, then settles back again as the water retreats. It does not cling to the shore. It does not float away entirely. It allows both. You notice how natural this looks, how unremarkable, how complete. And without effort, you find yourself doing the same. Thoughts may pass, faint, unfinished. Sensations may rise and fall. None of them stay long enough to matter. The rhythm of the water holds everything loosely. Near the tree line, a small group of animals gathers briefly, a fox pausing, a bird hopping once along the sand. Another creature slipping silently back into the brush. There is no announcement of bedtime, no signal. They simply slow or then disappear into rest. The forest does not watch them go. The shoreline does not react. The sky deepens toward night. Colors soften, edges blur slightly. The water continues its gentle motion. The forest stands quietly behind you. The hut's lantern glows faintly through the trees, steady and unconcerned. You stand here without needing to decide what comes next. Nothing needs to settle perfectly. Nothing needs to stop completely. Everything is already being carried, and you are carried with it. Night settles without announcement. There is no moment where day fully ends, only a gradual softening as colors fade and sounds grow rounder, less defined. The forest does not mark the change. It simply continues in a different tone. The path leads you back toward the hut, now outlined by a low, warm glow. The lantern by the door has been lit, its light resting gently on the ground instead of reaching outward. It does not try to brighten the forest. It does not push the dark away. It stays where it is. The hut feels smaller now, in a comforting way. Its wooden walls hold the warmth from inside, releasing it slowly into the night air. The roof settles with a quiet sound. As the temperature shifts, you notice how still it is, not silent, just settled. A window stands slightly open, or from inside, a soft firelight flickers, steady and unhurried. The movement is slow enough that it doesn't draw the eye. It simply exists. The door closes gently behind you, not with a click, but with a muted wooden sound that fades almost immediately. The hut accepts the night without changing itself. Outside, the forest rearranges itself for rest. A bird shifts once on a low branch, feathers rustling briefly before going still again. Somewhere in the underbrush, a small animal circles, pauses, then curls into itself. There is no urgency in their movements, no checking, no preparation. They respond to the night by slowing. Nothing else is required. The room is simple. A wooden table, a chair pulled slightly away from it, a bed with thick blankets folded back, waiting without expectation. The fire crackles softly, not enough to warm the room quickly, only enough to maintain what is already there. You notice the floor beneath your feet, solid, unmoving. The walls do not shift. The ceiling holds quietly above you, but your body recognizes this steadiness. If a sensation appears, warmth, heaviness, a brief awareness of breath, it is held easily by the space around you, just as the hut holds the fire without effort. Outside, waves brush the shore in slow, repeating movements. Each one arrives, pauses, and retreats without keeping a record of the last. A breeze moves through the trees again, leaves turn, then settle. Even the fire changes shape, leaning one way, then another, never trying to stay still. You notice how everything here is allowed to move just enough. The animals outside are quiet now, not gone, just resting. The forest does not silence itself for sleep. It allows sleep to happen within it. The hut does the same. And without needing to decide, without effort or correction, you find yourself matching this rhythm, alertness softening, awareness widening, attention loosening its grip. Nothing is pushed away. Nothing is held tightly. The bed does not pull you toward it. The chair does not invite you to sit. Everything waits patiently. When you move, it is slow. When you pause, it is complete. The fire continues, the waves continue, the night continues, and you are carried inside this steady, unremarkable flow. Outside, the forest has fully settled. Inside, the hut holds its quiet warmth. Nothing needs to change now. Nothing needs to deepen. The world has already done that for you, and you remain exactly where you are, supported, unrushed, and free to rest. The night is fully formed now. Not heavy, not dense, just complete. The forest stands in deep stillness, its shapes softened by darkness. Tree trunks fade gently into one another. The edges of branches blur, no longer asking to be seen clearly. The hut rests within this quiet, without standing apart from it. Down by the water, the shoreline has changed its voice. Waves arrive more slowly now, Their sound round and low. Each one meets the sand, lingers for a moment, then eases back into the sea. No wave tries to stay. No wave rushes the next. The water reflects faint traces of moonlight, stretching them thin, breaking them, letting them reform again with every movement. Nothing holds a shape for long. Nothing needs to. A smooth stone near the waterline darkens as a wave reaches it, then lightens again as the water slips away. Seagrass bends, then rises, bends, then rises, not correcting, not deciding, just responding. Farther along the shore, a piece of driftwood shifts slightly as the water touches it. It floats for a moment, then settles back into place, supported either way. You notice how natural this looks, how ordinary, how complete. Back inside the hut, the fire has lowered. The flames are smaller now, slower. Light pools near the hearth and fades before it reaches the walls. The air holds a gentle warmth. The bed waits as it has all evening, not inviting, not demanding, just there. When you settle, the mattress responds immediately, adjusting beneath you without instruction. The blankets fall into place, their weight even, uncomplicated. The hut carries you easily. Outside, Igat, an owl calls once, not searching, not announcing, just a sound placed gently into the night. Ates then gone. The forest does not answer. The shoreline does not react. Everything continues as before. Thoughts may pass through now, lighter than earlier, less defined. They don't stay long enough to form anything solid. They drift, dissolve, and leave no trace behind. Sensations follow the same pattern, appearing briefly, then blending back into the background. No effort is required to make this happen. Time loosens here. Moments lengthen, then overlap. Pauses arrive without being noticed. The waves continue their steady rhythm. The fire shifts quietly. The forest breathes in its own slow way. You do not need to follow any of it closely. You do not need to track where you are. Everything important is already happening on its own. The hut does not protect you from the night. It simply exists within it. The forest does not guard the shoreline. It grows beside it. The sea does not try to be calm. It moves as it moves. And you rest within all of this, supported, unpressed, untasked. Nothing new begins now. Nothing ends, and the night holds its shape. The world moves gently inside it, and you remain, floating, resting, carried, without needing to do a single thing. The night remains, not deeper, not different, just steady. The forest holds its quiet shapes, trees standing without movement, leaves resting where they fell. The shoreline continues its soft rhythm, waves brushing the sand and drawing back again, leaving the surface smooth and undisturbed. Nothing marks the passage of time here. Inside the hut, The fire has become a low glow. Embers settle into themselves, releasing warmth slowly, evenly. Light no longer flickers across the room. It rests. The wooden walls hold this warmth without trying to keep it. The air feels settled, familiar. The bed supports you fully now. No shifting, no adjustment. The blankets lie where they are, neither heavy nor light, simply present. Your body is held in the same quiet way. Outside, waves continue their gentle arrival and retreat. Arrive, pause, return, each one complete on its own. Inside, the fire breathes quietly. In the forest, branches remain still. Animals rest where they settled earlier. Nothing watches. Nothing listens closely. Everything is already at ease. Thoughts, when they appear, feel unfinished. They drift through without forming edges, dissolving before they can settle anywhere. Sensations are soft now, distant, indistinct, like sounds heard through water. They rise gently, then fade, without pulling attention toward them. There is nothing to respond to. There is nothing to manage. The hut does not hold you tightly. The shoreline does not pull you. The forest does not surround you. They simply exist alongside you. The night carries everything evenly, the sounds, the stillness, the space between moments, and you float within this, supported from below, from around, from within. The waves continue their motion. The fire continues its glow. The forest remains. Nothing concludes. Nothing resolves. Life, the story, does not move forward. It does not return. It simply stays. And you stay with it, or drift past it, or rest within it, without needing to notice which. The shoreline breathes. The hut rests. The forest holds its quiet. Everything moves exactly as it needs to, and you are already there.